How many times do you use I am during the day? And when you do use I am during the day, are you aware of what you put after that? Let's say, what do you say? I am. And then you add lazy. You say I am. And then you add tired. You say I am. And then you add a lot of negative stuff. Or do you say I am and you use only positive stuff? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly the power that is contained within I am, no matter the language that you're using. And I'm going to start straight with the end, because I don't have time for keeping the suspense. Whenever you say I am, it's like you are speaking immediately to the universe. It's like you open the doorway and it's like you are at McDonald's and you're ordering whatever comes after that. That's what happens. So I want you to picture that in your mind and to start being aware that every time you use I am, just like that, you're in front of the universe. And the universe is like, okay, what's your order? And then whatever comes after that, you are starting to create it. But what makes the I am be so powerful that every time that you pronounce it, you are being brought directly in front of the universe? Well, it is because I am is the name of God. I am is the name of source. Whenever you say I am, you immediately activate the highest consciousness within you. You immediately activate the God within yourself. You immediately activate the source energy within yourself as soon as you say I am. Now, here's the thing, it's not because you're going to say I am and then you're going to add lazy that immediately you becomes that, right? But every words that you say, every thought that you think never goes away. It's always there. It's always there. So the thoughts that you repeat, the words that you repeat, start stacking on each other and till the moment where they actually materialize themselves. Because you see, everything that we can see and feel and touch is actually the energy slowed down. We are energy being. We are just atom shaking. That's like if you look at the core of the human beings, it's just atom being structured in a very specific way. This mic that I'm using, it's just a bunch of atoms structured in a very specific way, and that's why we have what we have. It's the same for my shirt. It's the same for my ring. So we are energy being. So whatever comes out of us is also energy, whether it's a thought, whether it's an action, whether it's a word. And then whenever you're gonna say the I am, whatever you say, whenever you think the same thing, whenever you say the same thing, whenever you do the same thing, that energy is stacking with the previous that you did it until that energy slower enough and then becomes the matter. So I want you to know that every time that you use I am, you need to be careful. You need to be careful because if you pay attention, if you look at your life right now, you would see that whatever you are going through, good or less good, although there is no good or bad, like so say, whether it's good or less good, it is the consequences of what you've been thinking, doing, or saying, right? So that's why I am, it is so powerful. And I invite you to, from now on, really be conscious whenever you say I am. My son is currently reading the book, The Secret. He started it in July, like 2 months ago. Today it's October 5th. Before that, I was already telling him, hey, watch out with the I am and stuff like that. But like 2 weeks ago, he told me, yo, now when I speak, I am more aware of me saying stuff that I don't want instead of focusing on what I do want. And he's only 10. I was like, oh, this is very interesting. Very interesting. And for the past few months, every time, honestly, every time that I've been saying I am, and then I added something that's not positive, my son always told me, Dad, you just did it. Right? But how come even me, I'm still doing it? It is because of the programming. It is basically because we've been in an environment that taught us that this was okay, that there was nothing wrong about that. How many people do you know that would come to you and say, "Hey, do you know that whatever you say with your mouth, you're actually creating it?" It's because we are comfortable with the idea that we are powerless. We are comfortable with the idea that whatever happens in our life, it's actually not our job. Something else is doing it. Someone else is doing it. Might be God, might be the devil, might be the fairy, might be the wind, might be the rain. As long as it is not us. So today, you cannot go to bed tonight and still acting as you never heard that I am is so powerful that it is creating your life. That's why I don't have it here. The book is the I am mantra. You have a lot of positive mantra to say out loud, um, like multiple days during the month, so that the universe starts knowing that you are shifting, that you are building a new momentum, that you started to remember who you really are, and therefore you deserve the best that life has to offer, right? Can you imagine all the stuff that happened for you and I to be alive on this earth, only to live a miserable life, only to live a life where we go from paycheck to paycheck, not knowing when the next money is going to come from, not being able to provide for the family, not being able to go to the holidays that we want? That's not possible. That's not possible. I mean, look at this. This is the skin. This is the skin. Behind the skin, you have the cells, you have the blood, you have the. I have, we are amazing. We are amazing. It's not like this thing. This thing is nice, but this is what made this. This cannot make this. Do you get me? So I am is so powerful. I want you to start remembering that every time you're gonna, it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter at work, it doesn't matter if you're with your family, it doesn't matter if you're with your fiance, it doesn't matter. Every time that you're about to say, I am, even in a confrontation with someone, remember, because even the more emotion you put in your words, the faster you manifest. So let's say you are angry. Well, anger or upset is requiring more energy, right? Like when you're angry, how much energy do you use? Do you use the same type of energy of when you're just sitting on the sofa watching the TV? Of course not. It takes more energy. So when you're angry, let's say you are someone who gets angry easily. And whenever you're angry, you like to justify, you like to say how you feel, you like to bring the point again. How often are you going to use I am in that moment? And what do you think you are actually creating? Right? That's why something that I recommend and that I've been doing myself is that I was looking for my phone. I have a lot of affirmations that ring every 2, 3 hours on my phone with a lot of I ams that I say all the time. For the past 4, 5 months, I've been stating I am mantra every single day. Every single day. As soon as I wake up, as soon as I remember that I have a body, and I'm going to touch on that later. As soon as I remember that I have a body, the first thing that I do is that I pick up my phone and then I read all my 10 mantras out loud. My wife told me last time, "Yo, you've been doing that thing for so long. You're really consistent with that." I was really proud, but at the same time, she was low-key telling me, "Can you lower the volume when you do that?" You see what I mean? Like the moment you start remembering, man, I swear, this spiritual path, society doesn't give you a break, huh? Not only society doesn't give you a break, but you are the first one not giving you a break. You are the first one because you can sense that it gives you joy. It gives you so much joy. So you know you're going to do it with all your heart. But then you remember all the people that are going to look at you doing it, not understanding, come with all the questions. But it is also because you haven't stopped asking yourself questions. Right? So when you start being on the path of remembering, you cannot continue without embodying the I am. And in the book, the I am mantras written by Source through Elliot L.I. Jackson, Source says, state this mantra out loud for 30 days, for 60 days, for 90 days, until the soul within you absorbs those words and help you on the process of remembering who you fully are, who you really are. Isn't it insane? Or in hell? or in heaven, sorry. I am. In order to give you a different perspective, whenever, whenever you are gonna say I, it's like you take the key of the car and you put it in the ignition. And when you say I am, you turn the key, and now the engine is ready to, waiting for you to, bro. Who's trying to boycott the family business? Is it this? Like, I have a light here. Oh, I think it overhit. Oh man. Okay, good. Oh, it's burning. Yeah, it's overheating. It's overheating, guys. What are we gonna do? Let me think. Let me think. I have this thing. Let me see. Let me see. This is funny. No, this is not the brightest. Is this the brightest? I think it is. Okay, guys, let me hold it like this so we can continue. What was I saying? Yeah. So when you say I, it's like you have the keys in your hand. When you say am, then you put the key in the no. When you say I, you put the key in the ignition. When you say am, you turn the key and the engine is ready, waiting for the direction. Right? That's how it is. That's how it works. So I want to invite you to be more careful, to be more careful. And if you really want to start being aware, whenever you speak, when you say I am, see what's going on. See what you say when you say I am. And ask yourself, if I am a powerful creator, if I am the physical manifestation of God, if I am activates the God within me, and if the I am creates my reality, what have I created today? Ask yourself that at the end of the day. Based on all the I ams that I use during the day, what have I created? And then you're going to see. Because the more you start being aware of the how you use I am, and before you even say it with your mouth, you think it. You think it in your head. And sometimes I want to say something, I think in my head, I'm like, I need to change it in my head before I even say it with my mouth. So that's the game. I am is so powerful. So I highly recommend you to get the book, The I Am Mantra by Elliot Eli Jackson, and to read it. I used to read the whole book every day, man. I read it for 30, 40 days. The whole book. That's how, once I started to understand who I really was, that I am source energy with a body. That's what I was saying earlier. The way we are raised is to believe that we are a body. We are only our body, and a tiny part of us is the soul. But once you start getting in touch with the truth, you realize that you are a huge soul with a tiny body. You are a huge soul with a tiny body. The body is just one instrument of the soul, right? Like the soul chose the body in order to live this earthly reality, but the biggest part of the soul is not even in the body. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy? So that's really powerful. And I really wish someone told me this a few years ago. Although I know if someone told me I wouldn't have believed, but that's why I'm going live for 30 days. That's why I'm sharing this knowledge. That's why I'm here to let you know that whenever you use I am, just know you are creating. Just know you're doing it to yourself. And that's what I'm saying to people. That's what I've been saying to people. Whatever is happening to you, it is you doing that. It's really nothing. It's really no one. It doesn't matter who you meet. It doesn't matter who doesn't pay you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anything, right? It doesn't matter. So I am. I am is the key, man. I am. I am amazing. I am fantastic. I remember more than a year ago at one of my clients, after working with my spiritual coach, Adewale. During one session, he told me, whenever people are going to ask you, how are you doing? You always say I am amazing. Always say I am amazing. I was like, man, I used to say, I remember my dad used to say, it's going slowly. And at some point I started, sorry. And at some point I started using that. I hope that the quality of the light is really good. But anyway, we're gonna do it like that, guys. I don't want to let you down. So let's continue. So like I was saying, I used to answer, oh, it's going slowly whenever people would ask me how you're doing. And when I started saying I am amazing, first I was the one resisting to that, right? But the more I kept saying it, the more it was believable. The more I was saying it, the more it was believable. And then one day I started believing it. And I only would say that to the point where even my client will ask me the question and be like, wait, let me guess, you're doing amazing. And I was like, exactly. And I've been doing so amazing ever since. Well, there are some days where I don't feel like saying it, where I feel like, okay, it's not actually the best period. But then I remember that whatever already is all news. It's past manifestation. So I cannot allow what's already here to define how my mood of the day is going to go. You get that? So this is all a mental game. And I am not surprised. Why? Because in the scriptures, it is stated that all this planet, all this universe, everything that we can experience is happening in the mind of Source, because Source mind all that. So this is a thought. Whatever you see, like this life that you are living, is actually a thought from Source to tell you how magnificent, how powerful they are. You are God, man. You are God. You are God. In the beginning, it is scary to hear those words. It is weird to hear them. But the moment you accept it, the moment right before going to bed, you speak out loud and you tell to source energy, I am surrendering to you. I am asking you to showing yourself to me. I am asking you to showing me the truth about who you really are and help me remember who I really am. I trust you with all my beings. I love you and I am ready to do the work that I intended to do with you before I came into this earthly reality. I am surrendering fully to source energy and I am asking that anything that's not for my highest good must be taken away from me, and everything that is for my highest good must come towards me. That's what you want to say right before going to bed and every morning when you wake up. And trust me, what's going to start happening in your life, you will be amazed by how source energy knows how to do what source energy knows what to do. It was a pleasure to do this live today again, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Peace. How do I stop this? Yeah.